Eamon here with my first impressions of the Transformer Pad Infinity. I've had about 24 hours or so to play around with this review unit, and I've got a number of opinions, some good, some not as good, about this tablet so far. First off, let's just take a look at the hardware. Very familiar, looks just like the Transformer Prime. Has that same aluminum construction. What you will notice on the back though is that we've got a plastic strip up here instead of the full aluminum body. This allows for Wi-Fi signal and GPS signal to go through a lot more easily, and I can confirm that signal strength is definitely much stronger, especially in fringe signal areas. So that is a success. It might just be me, but I think that the radial spun finish on the back is a little bit more muted. Still looks great, looks very high quality, but you don't really feel the finish at all. It feels very smooth, except for the ASUS logo, which is raised. Also feels very, very high quality. Along the back here, we've got a single speaker, and we've got the 8 megapixel f2.2 aperture lens with a backlit CMOS sensor, along with an LED flash and a microphone along the back. All great for video recording and pictures. Most tablets aren't great for taking pictures. This isn't most tablets though. It's still not going to replace your point and shoot, but it does a pretty good job for any situations where you might be using a tablet for a camera. Looking along the edges here, along the top here, we've only got a couple of things that I know it's hard to see in the video. We've got our power button here. Next to that, a LED charging indicator. Over here, a volume rocker. Very easy to feel out the power button and the volume rocker without looking. I like it a lot. Let's look along the edges here. Along the right edge, I believe the only hole here is for a microphone. That's the only thing that I've seen so far. Looking along the other edge though, we do have a couple of things. We have a 3.5mm audio jack here for your headphones or speakers, a micro HDMI port, another hole which may be another microphone. I'm not actually positive on that. And then up near the middle of this this side of the tablet, we've got our micro SD slot for expandability. Along the bottom, we've got our dock port for plugging into the keyboard dock, as well as for charging and USB data transfer. These two holes on the side here are for connecting to the keyboard dock. Along the front, we've got a 10.1 inch 1920 by 1200 Super IPS Plus display with Corning Gorilla Glass 2, so it's very strong. I can take a knife to this thing, and let's see if I've actually got my knife laying around here. And I don't, but I was doing a demo earlier where I was just slashing at this thing with a knife, and there isn't a scratch on this panel. It's very, very strong, very bright. It goes up to, I believe, 350 nits of brightness. We've got a 2 megapixel front-facing camera there as well for video calls, for HD video calls. It does its job, and it does a little bit better than some other tablets that are out on the market right now. But let's get into it. We'll turn on the tablet if I actually hit the power button instead of the volume rocker. And we can see here we've got this traditional Android 4.0 home screen. It is running Ice Cream Sandwich with an update to Jelly Bean slated for sometime in the near future. No official date on it yet, but if I had to guess, I would say I'm going to guess within 2 months, maybe 3 months. When we saw ASUS release the Ice Cream Sandwich update for the Transformer Prime, it was, I believe, roughly a month after Ice Cream Sandwich was announced, and jumping from Honeycomb to Ice Cream Sandwich was a much bigger jump than from Ice Cream Sandwich to Jelly Bean. And ASUS has had a great track record with releasing these updates, so I have full faith in them releasing an update very, very soon. This tablet is running the Tegra 3 T33 chip, which is different from the T30 that you see in almost every other Tegra 3 device out there right now. It's running at 1.6 gigahertz as opposed to, I believe, 1.4 or I believe it's 1.4 gigahertz on any T30 device. It's also got 1 gig of LPDDR3 RAM, so tri-channel RAM, as opposed to the single-channel RAM in most devices. That really helps this device power through almost any application that you throw at it. It's got a very, very smooth interface. Everything's very, very fast. I feel like it might be a quirk of Ice Cream Sandwich, but every once in a while I will still run into a hiccup. Sometimes when browsing in Chrome, I find pages are a little bit slow to render on occasion, and pinch to zoom can actually be a little bit funky at times. So as you can see, here's an example of it taking a second, and it's not quite keeping up with my fingers. I'm scrolling until the page is fully rendered, and then it seems to work just fine. But as you can see, the zooming is actually a little bit off. I've actually found the Nexus 7 running Jelly Bean and the NVIDIA Kai platform Tegra 3 chip running at 1.3 gigahertz to be faster and smoother. So I'm very excited for this to hit Jelly Bean because I think it's just going to smoke everything else out there. The display, of course, is brilliant. In my full review of the Nexus 7, I stated that it was the best tablet for gaming. That was before I got a hold of the Infinity, and honestly, they are pretty close. The Infinity feels very, very good in the hand. It's got a very solid build quality to it. There's no flex to this tablet. It's almost identical in size to the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1, but I found just zero flex to it, whereas the plastic body of the Galaxy Tab 10.1 had too much flex, and you felt like you were going to break it just holding it in your hands like this sometimes and pushing on it while gaming, especially. So games run really great on this. I can show you Dead Trigger here, the newest game from Madfinger Games. And this has been my favorite demo since this game has come out. It just really showcases whatever high-spec hardware you've got running Android. So I'll just jump into the main quest here. And I'm not great with first-person shooters, but we'll say this is a graphics demo, not a demo of my gaming prowess. But as you can see here, there are some very cool particle effects that are being showcased with the Tegra 3, and we've got some zombies. Oh, that was a good shot. And now I'm getting eaten by zombies. So I'm going to throw a few more shots in here, and they're just coming out of there. And we'll get out of there. But as you can see, Dead Trigger looks great on this high-res display. Text also looks amazing. I was just playing around with my favorite tablet Twitter app, Plume. And if you look here, it might just be a placebo effect, but I honestly think that the text looks a lot better on the Infinity than it does on anything else I've used for this app. Nexus 7 or any of the other Transformer tablets. It just looks phenomenal, especially using the Super IPS mode. So if I switch over to Super IPS mode, that display can get very, very bright and almost blow out the camera here a little bit. You can't even see it as clearly because it's so bright. So I'll switch it back to normal IPS mode and back to automatic brightness. That brings me to another little quirk that I found with this tablet. The automatic brightness can be a little bit over-aggressive. Seems like it's trying to save more power, which isn't a bad thing on this very, very brilliant display. So it's not necessarily always a bad thing, but I do like my displays bright, and this does go a little bit low on automatic brightness, so I tend to keep it on manual brightness setting. Over here we've got an ASUS customized notification toggle area. We've got the power profiles. We've got power saving, balanced, and performance modes, as well as toggles for auto rotation, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, sound, background data sync, and GPS, as well as a quick shortcut to settings where I can scroll through here and get to my settings. And as you can see, scrolling is very, very smooth on here. Overall, I am liking this tablet very, very much. Though I could be more excited about it if it were running Jelly Bean right out of the box. It's an awesome tablet, and it has a ton of potential. So I'll be very, very excited to see where it goes once it gets Jelly Bean. This may become the tablet to beat. The high resolution display, the tri-channel RAM, the T33 Tegra 3 chip. The cards are laid out for this tablet. It is awesome. And then with ASUS's track record for releasing software updates and responding to customer feedback, I think that they've got a winning combination here. Right here, we're taking a look at Google Earth on the MSU campus. We've got some 3D imagery, so I can zoom in here on Spartan Stadium, get a 3D view of it, and it looks very, very cool. I realize I'm saying very, very a lot in this video, so I'm going to try and stop that. But we will move around here, and you get all those angles on Spartan Stadium. We can see, I believe, what is that? I'm in a weird orientation, so it's hard to tell where I am right now. But if I zoom out here, I can go in and take a look at East Complex. And again, here you can see what I was talking about with some of those quirks, where it will sometimes stutter on high performance applications. But it is definitely blazing through this application. The 3D model slowed down my Galaxy Nexus quite a bit. It was almost painful to use these 3D models on my Galaxy Nexus, running the Texas Instruments 1.2 gigahertz OMAP 4430 chip. But here it looks fantastic. So overall, this tablet is awesome. It could be a little bit more awesome, and I fully expect it to reach that potential with the Jelly Bean update, which I expect to be coming in the near future. So this is Eamon. These are my first impressions on the Transformer Pad Infinity. If you have any questions, you can get me on Twitter. I will put a link to my Twitter, or you can leave a comment on this YouTube video. I look forward to hearing your questions and your feedback. Thanks for watching.